So in my previous video, what I did was I was able to bring you into my agricultural journey, how I started and everything. Now the promise here is that I'm going to walk you through every single step of the way, such that if you follow this channel carefully, right, all you have to do if you want to start a tomato farm, right, is just to watch every video carefully and watch the steps, and that will be done. Now in this video, I'll be showing you how you can raise a nursery and how I am raising my nursery. Now the whole essence is not to finish the whole farm and then when the fruit are all grown and I'm showing you, I'm like, oh, you could actually make so amount of money. No, I'm trying to walk you through the process step by step, everything I'm doing. So what I did was, this video was supposed to be out earlier on, but what I did was I waited so the nursery can be at least 2 weeks old. That way I can show you every step, you know, from day 1 to day 5 to day 6 to day 7. Currently we're about day 17. Yeah, so that is currently where we are. So after this scene, I'm going to be walking you through certain different processes that I have been involved with. You're going to be seeing me doing certain things, and then there's going to be a voiceover that will walk you through everything we are achieving part time, and where we currently are, where the nursery is currently are, and what progress we've made in the farm. If this is your first time watching this video, I have created a video like this, and what I'm doing is that I'm trying to walk you through my journey in agriculture, right, as one of my businesses. And trying to walk you through every step of the way as I go through the journey. So it's more like a reality thing where I carry you through every step of the way. This is not me being some established agriculture. I've done this before, but this is another project. So I'm trying to do this step by step, right? Record every process and actually carry you through it, so that if you want to start a nursery, you don't have to be hiring an agronomist, you don't have to be paying for any mentorship. You just have to watch the videos I create on this channel, and that would be enough for you. So if this is your first time, you might want to hit on the subscribe button so that you will not miss out on any video like that I share. I get to share video on agriculture and every other thing that has to do with finance in the digital world. So without further ado, let's hop right in. Let me show you how I am doing this and where we are currently. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to dissect a cocoa pit. Now a cocoa pit is usually like I'm not sure but I think it's sawdust and a couple of other minerals just combined together and condensed and made in this form, baked in this form. So it's hard. What I'm trying to do is to actually divide this cocoa pit into two, because currently you need to add water to it, which is mix it up, and then add some other ingredient, which is manure. So you can see that's what we're currently doing. I'm currently adding water to it right now. I haven't separated it. I've separated it already, so I'm adding water. This very white bag close to me is manure from a poultry farm, from chicken. So what you can do is, you have your cocoa pit, you have your soil pit, then you can add manure, not so much of manure, maybe a hand or 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 handful of manure per half of this cocoa pit. You can see that I just divided it. The remaining cocoa pit is what is in this carton here. I think we had 2 cocoa pits, but we're currently projecting to have about 5 plots of tomato. I know that's a big risk. Yes, that's understandable. It's a huge risk, especially for someone who is just starting. But I'm actually projecting to actually do way more than this. So for someone who is projecting to do more, this is the list. So right now, it's been soaked up, and what I'm currently doing is I'm currently trying to make it mix it up together. You can see he's still adding water, because the water we added initially is not enough. So you can see me currently trying to break off the remaining hardened cocoa pit. So this is me mixing it up. So you would do this and make sure it is evenly distributed. The manure you added is evenly distributed. Everything is properly mixed properly. You just keep turning it and turning it. We're done with that. We've been able to do it. So I poured it up in this tray, and then I'm currently adding it to my tray. So these are our trays. Currently putting our cocoa pit on our tray, before which we would start imputing our seed. Now we're done that. So right now we're putting in our seed. So before we put in our seed, what we do is that we'll create some hole, more like a hollow. You can see a deep hollow in all of the trays that we've poured our cocoa pit. Then we'll put our seed one after the other. This is actually one of the most difficult process of raising a nursery. because you have to make sure that it's one seed per hole. This is a tray, a 128 hole tray. There is usually 105. I think at this point I was exhausted, I was tired. I think at this point you could see we moved into the nursery. This is what it looked like after we've finished adding our seeds. You now add cocoa peats to cover it up, cover the surface, just like planting and then covering the surface. So after that hollow we did, adding your seed, then you will now cover it up again with cocoa peat, but not so deep, so it won't be too deep, and then your seed will take time to germinate. You can see these are the containers that we use. These are our cocoa peat currently on ground, all looking good, and these are our carpenters currently working, because what happened was that after we were done with the nursery, we realized that it was not enough. It wouldn't be enough. So what happened was that we were using 2x2 plywood before, and then we just realized, we have bamboo in the farm, and then why not use bamboo? I mean, we could use bamboo. So there were some part of the nursery, we realized the nursery was not enough, so we had to increase the size of the nursery. We also got, instead of buying more 2x2 woods, we could just use bamboo. You can see how he's integrating the bamboo into the ground, and then he'll put in the other edges on it and all that. So I mean, the whole thing about farming is you have to apply wisdom and find ways to cut costs. Because interestingly, if I had thought about the bamboo idea earlier on, we probably wouldn't have used firewood. We'll just use bamboo instead of the firewood, because we have plenty of them in the farm. That works pretty well. So yeah, that's that about this is our nursery. So you can see currently we have our trays on the ground that will bury seeds in, and then shortly I would show you how we transplant. We move this into the nursery, and then next thing will be watering, and then that's literally watering for the next 21 days, and then following through on certain processes. So we've successfully added everything, and our carpenters are done working. So right now we just dropped all of our trays on the counters that were created. You can see all looking very, very, very beautiful. This is our seed properly buried. This is day one actually. So sorry about that. I decided to tilt the camera just a little bit. And this was day two. The carpenters were still working there were some gaps in the nursery, so we figured, I called them to come and cover it up, because ideally the whole essence of a nursery is that you do not have insects coming in, you don't have anything coming in. I used a chemical called halakat on day one. So day one is that chemical is usually meant to prevent insects from coming in and all that. So you use that insect. Usually they said you use it 3 times, which is every 7 days. Day 1, day 7, day 14, and by day 21 you won't even need it, because then you'd already be heading towards transplanting. This was me watering. I was exhausted at this point, completely exhausted. This is day 2, like I said. You can see that I'm wearing a different clothes here. I was completely exhausted at this point, but I kept going. You know how it is. Farming is actually not easy. So if you're choosing to go into farming, just be ready for what comes with farming. It's not a white collar job. It's not you just come and tell workers do this and do that. I think I noticed a seed was popping out here, because I was not the only one that did it. One of my workers, I think, didn't do a good job. So I had to, look. So this is me randomly, one of the days in the farm. So currently at the reservoir. That's the reservoir. And yeah, so at the moment our nursery just started budding, and to be honest, I currently do not have a staff yet, a worker yet, and the reason is very simple. That's the nursery right there. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, somewhere there. The reason is very simple. So I had a staff supposed to work with me. He came, spent 1 week, and he's opting to leave. He said he wanted to go back from where he came from, and that's all right here. You can't force people to work with. Let me turn the camera this way. So I'm currently at the farm. This is how I look. My boots. Interesting. So this is where it started sprouting. You can see it sprouting. Beautiful sight. So this is what it looks like exactly 1 week later. Exactly 1 week later, we are this good. Beautiful sight. Yep. Beautiful sight. I know. This is what we look like exactly 1 week later. And this is what we look like about this at this point. I think we're 17 days gone. Yeah, no, 14 days. This is what it looks like. Yeah, so this is just recently. This is just to give you a preview. So you need to transplant. So these are the ridges being made. This is day 2 of work, ridges. This is what the farm looks like. We're currently transforming it. I'm going to eventually show you before and after. Farming is actually not easy, so just stay tuned with me. This is the end of the video, but I'm just gonna be stopping it here so it won't be too long. But I'm going to be showing you the eventual progress of the nursery. I think we have about 7 days left to go, and I'm going to be showing you how we transplant eventually. So if you've not subscribed up until this point, you might want to hit on the subscribe button so you get to be carried along. Okay. See you in my next video.